Intense talks in Egypt trying to reach a long-term truce between Israel and Hamas, and it appears there may be a bit of a breakthrough that could mean a sense of calm for residents of Gaza and Israel. CCTV's Stephanie Freid is live in Tel Aviv with the details. Stephanie.
Well, the latest that we're hearing is, yes, there has been some momentum, some movement forward, and I'm getting this from Palestinian sources, but I'm also hearing from sort of Israeli feedback from ministers, which in not a direct way is confirming that perhaps there is some movement. What is the movement on? Some of the concessions, some of the agreements for a long-term deal that include long-term expansion of fishing areas within Gaza, but also more important things like the number of trucks that would be able to come into Gaza from Israel every day, an increase in that on the part of Israel, money to be paid to civil servants of the Hamas. Israel has agreed to pay their salaries via the Palestinian Authority. This is coming, again, unconfirmed, and that is also coming with some anger on the part of some Israeli ministers who don't want to pay those salaries. They say the salaries will basically go right towards rearming and hitting Israel. However, these are the breakthroughs or the movement that we're understanding, that I'm understanding, hearing from sources, is happening in Egypt. Also, word is that Israel has agreed or will agree to an additional release of Palestinian prisoners from Israeli jails. There are still some sticking points, but that's the latest. Also, the very latest here is that Prime Minister Netanyahu is convening his senior 5 ministers this very evening now. We are 46 hours now into a ceasefire. He's going to talk to them about these negotiations that are ongoing in Cairo. Several of those the closest ministers in his security cabinet are opposed to any sort of deal with Hamas. They want to continue the campaign. Also word that I'm getting is that the United Kingdom, England, is threatening that if this campaign carries on or resumes tomorrow when the ceasefire ends, they will end weapons license agreements, export agreements to Israel.
Stephanie, what about the thorny issue of lifting the blockade in Gaza and Israeli demands that Hamas be disarmed? Those seem to be some of the thorniest, most sensitive issues. Are they narrowing the gap on those topics?
Well, that specific topic about being completely disarmed, and that's one of Israel's, that's a very big sticking point. No. That the jury's still out on, that is still not a point that has been resolved, according, again, to these sources. In terms of getting goods into Gaza, it's a catch-22, depending on whose side and how you're looking at it. The Israeli government says they're keeping a hold on what gets in because they're afraid of a rebuilding of an intricate tunnel system of bringing arms through. On the other hand, human rights advocates are saying that at the current rate, the damage, the destruction that we've seen in Gaza, it would take 100 years to rebuild Gaza at the current rate of the blockade and the amount of materials that can move through. So it's a very difficult and very thorny issue, and that could be, the blockade could be the major sticking point that could perhaps see us in another 24+ hours seeing another operation or the operation resume.
All right, thank you so much, Stephanie Freid in Tel Aviv.